I knew coming into Fuqua that I wanted to go into social sector consulting. And I had spent over a decade in the nonprofit sector working directly for nonprofits. I'd actually been an internal consultant, or a social entrepreneur, as I like to call it, within a nonprofit. But to me, as a kid, I loved problem solving. I loved finding a problem and then trying to find a solution. And so consulting seemed like a really good step for me. Although I knew that if I was going to go into consulting, I needed the hard skills to actually do consulting. And you may be thinking, maybe you would go to a different school, one that actually concentrated more on just consulting. But to me, Fuqua actually provided all the different elements that I needed. Because if you think about it, being a consultant, you have to be a generalist. You have to understand marketing. You have to understand culture. You have to understand leadership. And so they had the social side, which was really important for me to understand the context of social sector organizations. But they also had all the different business elements, not to mention a really great consulting program. So for me, it was a perfect degree because I was able to come here and learn the basics of a lot of different areas that would be applied in the consulting profession. I was able to do a number of consulting practicums and work alongside some of the best consultants out there. Because of my Duke connections, I was able to get a summer internship up in Maine, working directly on site with a nonprofit that was needing assistance and needing a strategic plan. So it really set me up for a career in consulting. And I was so pleased that I was able to then get a job at Community Wealth Ventures and now have my own firm in social sector consulting. And so I look back and I couldn't have planned it any better as far as coming to Fuqua. They have obviously also taught me the entrepreneurship, which would eventually be very important to me when I started my own career in consulting in my own firm. And so Fuqua really set me up for success in starting my consulting career, but then also starting my own consulting business.